Welcome to Rather Be Rotting, where two sisters who should really be doing something more productive dissect all things reality, TV, and pop culture chaos because no matter what's going on in life, we would always rather be rotting.
Take two, everyone. Once again.
Hi, Lil.
Hi, Madelyn.
Welcome to the pod. Do you want to tell everyone that you were in the ER just basically a few minutes ago? An hour ago?
We can cover that for a second time. Till you learn how to press record. It's okay. Yes, I had some large quantities of blood in my urine today. A jarring amount, an alarming amount.
It sounds painful.
Oh, it is.
It was and still is.
Was and is. I've had UTIs in the past, as you know, we all have, who amongst, but never quite at this level. Hence the alarm.
You can't mess around. People die.
People die. People die. And when I went to the ER and I had my urine in a cup for the nurse to test.
Did you bring the cup with you, or did you do it when you were there?
I did it there.
Okay, good.
I did it there, and as you saw from the picture that my husband sent you, it sat on the counter next to me the entire duration of my stay.
They never wanted to look at it?
They did test it. Turns out they only need one drop to test. But boy, did I feel that vial.
And they didn't throw it away. They just...
It was still there upon my departure.
Just a glaring reminder of why you were there, if anyone was confused.
So when the doctor came in, she said, I get it. That's alarming. That's an alarming sight. And I said, yeah, that's why I'm here.
But you're okay.
Yes, I'm fine. Luckily, earlier this morning, I knew what was coming for me. So I had already gotten my antibiotics before the blood appeared. So, I'm not that much of a drama queen. I was going to handle it myself, business as usual, until I saw the large quantity of blood. And I thought, I should probably do something about that.
Well, I'm glad you did. And I'm even more glad that you raced back home to take to the mic.
Had to. We've had some really massive developments today. I wasn't messing around.
No, you can't. So what are your thoughts about these big developments? We're obviously talking about Taylor.
Obviously. I'm happy for her. Women supporting women. I am incredibly frustrated that I'm not immediately getting vault tracks. I'm not sure why those weren't already recorded.
I'm in disbelief, honestly.
And she said in her letter on her website that was barely legible, text for ants. I had to zoom in significantly to read it.
You might need glasses because I had no problem.
Were you on a computer?
Of course.
I was on my phone.
Of course.
So it was tough. But she said that debut is finished. So she could have said, hey, got these all back as a celebration. Here's debut. But she did not.
She should have released debut months ago.
She should have released both months ago.
The fact that everyone on TikTok, I mean, I know the clown memes are rolling in, but it's just like, I hope that they learned a valuable lesson to maybe go volunteer at an animal shelter or go for a brisk walk. Literally,
are you talking to
else.
me? Are you talking to me specifically?
No, I'm talking to the people who make the TikToks that you send me, who do the calculations of numbers that mean nothing.
But they don't always mean, sometimes they mean something.
99.9% of the time, they mean nothing.
Here's my thought, though. I think a lot of those did mean something because before she was able to repurchase them, I think she was obviously planning to re-release them. So I think there were plans in the works.
But she couldn't have had plans in the works before the album was even done.
Yes, you can. Haven't you seen Miss Americana? She plans things 3 years in advance.
I guess, but she could have slowed her roll on pretty much anything. Like, what was the new Eras Tour jumpsuit for, if not for a new album? Like, why did she do that? Why didn't she just wear the same Reputation outfit the whole time?
Why did she do that? Why didn't she ever wear the last two matching sets of green and yellow? There's a lot of unanswered questions here still, and I'm frankly annoyed.
How is there room in your brain for the things that you think about?
I honestly don't know.
We may never know.
We may never know. That's why we need this podcast. It's a place for me to put it.
Get it all out, girl. Do you have anything else?
I mean, what are your thoughts?
I am in disbelief, as I said. I thought Reputation was done 6 months ago, and I didn't understand the holdup. I'm speechless, quite frankly. I'm just shock, awe. It feels just like such a big money grab now. The whole freaking thing was just like such a waste of time. Like I'll never get this time back. Because I didn't invest as much time as you, not even a fraction, but I did invest time that I will never get back. We all did.
There is one good thing that we got out of this, though, and it is the vault tracks from 1989.
Killer.
The best of the best.
They're everything to me.
So, at least there's that.
I like Mr. Perfectly Fine also.
That's perfectly fine.
It was like the first one we got, and I was like, here we go.
Yeah, but the ones on Speak Now just poop. No offense.
What about Red?
I like some of them on Red. Yeah, I do. And I guess for those of you who really love All Too Well, we did get a 10-minute version.
You have to admit, seeing that live at the Eras tour was like a religious experience.
It was pretty cool. I felt more that way about Cruel Summer, though, personally.
So the best meme I saw of all the Taylor memes was the burger post-it. I'm sorry, I can't. Don't hate me.
The amount of people that have sent that to me today, several.
Which, is the perfect segue to what was formerly known as Sex and the City. I know you didn't watch the premiere of season 3, but I'm sure you have thoughts anyway.
I actually have none. I'm coming into this completely blind. It's been a busy week, so tell me everything.
So you didn't see the hat?
I did see that.
I was gonna say, there's no way you didn't see that hat.
The hat made its way to my eyeballs. Yeah.
The hat, I gotta say, I loved it.
How?
Because it's just so, this is the next level shit. And you know what's great is in the scene, they didn't even address it. There was no comment on the hat. There was no nice hat or I put a bird on my head. It was nothing. She just kept eating her ice cream. And that was the best part because that's just Carrie. That's just what she does. And I looked into it a little bit more, and Sarah Jessica Parker did an interview with Glamour and said, I saw that hat and I wanted it on my head immediately. She said, my feeling is when I see something like that, who wouldn't want that on their head? And can't we find a reason for it? Sometimes you have to project a need where it doesn't exist. Like, she didn't need the hat. She knows that, but she loved it. Michael Patrick King said it was like the Hindenburg balloon landed on her head, and she just decided to go with it.
I gotta give her credit. She is really good with that kind of. If there's anybody who can pull off that hat, and I don't even know that I would say she pulled it off, but if there's anybody who could come close to pulling it off, it's her.
Only her. And I remember after the first season of And Just Like That, they had some behind the scenes, like a documentary, and they had SJP at like a wardrobe fitting, and she was with Michael Patrick King, and she really wanted to wear a hat with her outfit, and Michael Patrick King did not want her to, and they were going back and forth, and she was really pushing it, and he put his foot down. He said, no, you can't wear this hat, and she was upset. So I know that she's not the boss, you know what I mean? Like, I know she has a say, but I think Michael Patrick King would have said something if it was too much. And the scene was a fluff, like the scene wasn't important. So
it was about the hat.
Yeah, it was okay that she was wearing the hat. It's okay that you can't think about anything else but the hat. And that's like just a moment that we're serving you. It's just like a little snack.
How was the rest of the episode?
Pretty horrible. It started off strong. Like, Carrie was in her new house and she was wearing this amazing sheer outfit, and I thought, we're doing this, but the Aiden stuff is too much. I'm sure they're like taking a break while he deals with his kids. That's where we left off. He called her and said, I ache for you.
Ew.
I immediately was nauseous, and then they were having phone sex, and I think I threw up in my mouth a little bit. I was disturbed. Ew. Yeah, ew. As someone who's Team Aiden, I would not expect it ew from you, because watching like Big and Carrie doing that would have been so much better.
No, I don't want to see any of them doing it.
Well, you don't like see much because they're on the phone.
I don't want to hear it.
Aiden,
I don't want to be involved.
I just want Aiden to stay in Virginia in his fucking pickup truck, like get in your pickup truck and drive away and never come back.
But he aches for her, though.
All he does is ruin everything that he touches.
That's your opinion.
Remember Abu Dhabi? Like, I don't even want to go there, but I'm just saying, like,
that movie isn't real.
And if we're gonna
in
bring
my
him back,
universe.
why can't we bring back Trey for fun? Like, why are we just bringing Aiden back, the worst of the worst?
I would love a visit from Trey. I actually follow that actor on TikTok and I think he's hilarious.
He is hilarious. He's great. I love his like he's like a silver fox now.
Kyle MacLachlan.
Yeah. So there was one good storyline amongst everything was boring. Like all the ladies assume they're all boring except Miranda, which I'm sure you also heard about.
No.
Oh my goodness. So she is at a lesbian bar with their friends and then they leave. And she's like there at the end of the night when the lights come on and she looks across from her and who does she see? But Rosie O'Donnell.
I did see that Rosie was going to be on it at some point. I didn't realize.
So they hook up and then they wake up in the morning and Rosie tells her that Miranda took her virginity because she was a nun. And
Oh,
so her name is Mary. So she's like Sister Mary. So that was kind of like some of those jokes were like you deflowered Virgin Mary, like a little too easy. Like a lot of the jokes are so cheap and easy. I don't like that. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah.
But overall I liked it as a storyline. Rosie was like a tourist, so she was like had seen Wicked and she sang Because I Knew You.
Oh boy.
So that was good. She wanted to meet Miranda at the M&M store in Times Square. So stuff like that was like good. So I give it overall maybe a 2 out of 10.
All right. I mean, that's still terrible, and I still won't watch it.
Actually, I'm gonna give it 3 because I liked the hat.
An extra point for the hat. That's nice of you.
And Michael Patrick King promised us a festival of fashion. So if nothing else, I'll be watching for that.
I don't really trust his judgment anymore these days, but we'll see.
What else you got?
I will say that I don't recall a whole lot from 90 Day, if you want to start there.
Okay, we can go there. I miss
I think
Mina.
I did miss Mina and Mark a lot. I feel like what I do recall the most was Sarper and Shekinah's tattoos in red ink
Yes.
because it's more permanent. What I didn't understand is that they blurred Sarper's last name. Like people can't just go Google that.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, when they have it, because she got his first and last name on her neck, and they blurred his last name.
Are you sure you weren't just watching it on your phone? So it was
No,
really small.
I'm 1,000% positive because when they were writing it out, it also had both, and it was blurred on the paper.
Weird. I
Are
don't know
you
what
sure
that
you weren't
means.
watching it on your phone?
I'm sure. And guess what? I actually thought her tattoo, I thought that the neck tats were going to be trashy and Sarper's was, but I thought hers was kind of delicate and nice.
You would think that.
And I thought, do I need a neck tattoo?
My name, preferably.
In red ink?
Yes.
And where are you going to put my name?
Nowhere. In my heart.
I think that's a little much, sisters getting names tattooed.
I was gonna say, if you were about to say tattoos, the ship has sailed. We have those.
We do. What about the weight thing? Did that stick out to you?
You know, it didn't because it's just him reverting to old Sarper. Like, this is who he was when we first met him. So, was it surprising to you?
Not really. I mean, I don't know him as well as you, so I mean, it could have been, but I just was like, Shekinah didn't even blink an eye, which showed me that she isn't mad. She understands him. She was like telling them why he was saying that. She accepts him fully for who he is, which, I mean, isn't that true love?
No, I definitely think that's true. They are endgame.
Like, if any other guy had said to any other woman, I want to put a weight clause in the prenup, I would be beside myself. But in this case, for some reason, in context, it just felt right. It felt
No, yeah.
okay. And it showed me that they love each other, which is crazy.
It's so accurate, though. This is just who they are.
Yeah, she's like, it's fine. And I believe that.
I did think it was hilarious, back to the tattoo thing, how she called out his mom for getting lip filler on national TV. I'm like, leave Mama Sarper alone.
I mean,
Let her get her lip filler in private.
no, I don't think anyone should be gatekeeping.
But not everybody wants to share. She's old. What if it causes judgment in her community?
And those people are not her real friends.
I just thought it was funny.
Do you remember anything else? Do you need me to jog your memory about anything?
It's coming back to me. My most favorite redemption I think I've ever seen is that of Lucille's.
I know. How did we turn on Lucille so fast?
I
Loved Lucille in this episode. She was fun. She was flirty. She was in it. She was an active participant. She was open-minded. She
Good
was just
vibes only.
there for a party.
Like I would have bet money that she was gonna be a sourpuss, and she was even like grabbing like air, like pretending to grab the boobs of the strippers. Like
I loved it.
me too. It was so fun, and Joan was into it, and she was nervous, but once she saw how much fun Lucille was having, she's just let loose.
Love seeing Joan have fun. I thought that it's Greg's friend, right, that planned it?
I think so. It was weird because I'm like, do these women know each other at all? Like, is this
They
just a
must have
random
met.
collection of women that Greg has met?
They must have met in passing, and Joan and the friend, they must have met already. And I just thought it was really nice of her. And the fact that they're calling her Joni, I was like, is she okay with being called Joni? Is that an established nickname, or are they just giving it to her on the
Yeah,
fly?
because I have never even heard Greg call her that.
Nope. What'd you think of Greg in a cow costume? He paid
I
the
thought it
dowry.
was really cute. He paid the dowry. I thought that whole thing was cute. $3,000 is no small feat for someone who doesn't work.
That's a good caveat because I'm like, is it?
And she loves him. Like they're another two love stories for our time.
I'm really rooting for those crazy kids, but something goes down on the next episode.
Does
He's
he lose
he's
his
messed
job?
something up. I think he's lost
I
his
think he
job.
does too. Oh no, Will.
I don't know how he loses his job. So what do you do
Oh,
so wrong
I
so
was worried
early?
about him because the way that they were psyching him up before he had to go in, like, oh my God. Like he was going into battle. They were like, you can do this. Like you might want to go now and get ready. Like,
It's
and
not great.
he didn't win the battle, I don't think.
We'll see. It could be another Matt Sharp fake out. We don't know.
Which I thought there was a fake out that the Stevie and Maddie, that was not a fake out.
No, he's got some serious cold feet.
I mean, and staying in that haunted mansion the night before the wedding isn't gonna help.
That mansion was terrifying. I would have turned right around and left.
Me too. Other than that, they didn't really do much for me.
I do feel bad for him because it is a lot in a short amount of time. I think they do get married, but
Me too.
I feel bad that he's going through these emotions.
I think they all get married except for maybe Sean and Aaliyah.
Yeah, I liked seeing his mom again, Sean's mom again, in her 4th of July outfit.
Did you see she had a sign on her wall that said no muggles beyond this point?
Yep. She seems fun.
You know what I want is one of those lasers that Aaliyah was using. I'm like, oh my God, I pay so much money to get laser hair removal. I could just be doing it to myself.
How much do you think that costs?
I looked them up. There's a lot. They're in between like 150 and 450. So I need to do more research to find out which one is the best.
Does it come with the glasses?
One can only hope. If not, you can probably get those on Amazon.
I wanted one too.
Yeah, so let's do a little bit more research on that.
Otherwise,
Nothing happened.
well, he wants Aaliyah to sign the prenup. She does need to sign the prenup.
That's only fair.
Yeah. I mean, he's got money, he's got a business, I think. She has to sign it. Sorry.
But do you think she will? Do you think she doesn't? And that's why,
No, I think she'll sign it.
because she leaves him like waiting.
Yes. But we've seen her do that before. Just takes her longer to get ready.
That's true.
So I wonder if that is another Matt Sharp fake out.
Time will tell.
We had Juan and Jessica and Megan.
Jessica was really pissing me off in this episode when she's like, "You've been complaining about not having enough Colombia at the wedding."
Yeah, that was crazy. Bring in Megan to teach us how to make Colombian flowers because she's an expert in Colombian flowers.
And
He's
poor
like,
Juan, like,
he's like, I wasn't aware that my culture did that.
so maybe like, I mean, they could have asked him what traditions would you like to incorporate?
You would have thought that they could do that, but for some reason, it's such a chore to factor him into his own wedding.
This is just a sign of what's to come for Juan, who had to make a big choice this episode.
Yeah, and he made the right choice. It was clear that he didn't want to make that choice, though.
No, because his life, his love, and his lady is the sea.
I love that song.
I do too, and it's Juan's song. That's what it should be called.
Juan is Brandy. Brandy is Juan.
No, Jessica is Brandy.
Yeah, Jessica's Brandy.
And Jessica, like when he made his grand choice, choosing his miserable, shitty life over his life on the sea.
Cruise life.
Yeah, over his cruise life, she was smiling like she was happy, and I was like, can't you see how miserable he is?
Well, what is she gonna do about that? She's the one stuck at home with his kid.
I don't know, but I just would not want to be with a man that I felt I was trapping, who looks
You,
miserable.
she's not trapping him. The child is trapping him. That was a joint decision the two adults made. So, sorry. That's
And now
Juan
they're
has
both
nobody to
gonna
blame
have,
but himself.
yeah, so he's gonna have a shitty life, and she in turn is gonna have a shitty life because she's gonna be married to someone who hates their life, which
Yeah.
is enough to make you hate your life too if your spouse hates their life.
Maybe eventually they can move somewhere like a little more lively.
I did see on Instagram that he eventually got to go to Mount Rushmore when it was a sunny day. So
Thank God. I was worried.
he got justice in that situation.
Didn't even need to show up a second time.
No,
Who else?
that's it. That's all there was. It wasn't a very good episode of all the ones that, I mean, my expectations were high because it's been such a great season.
But Lucille was the highlight.
Lucille is the MVP of that episode. And the MVP of Real Housewives of Atlanta,
Is it Phaedra?
I think so.
I'm very happy to see Phaedra again. The
Did
flashbacks were really a delight for me.
I needed those flashbacks because, as we know, I've never watched before, and I was wondering, like, how can that be the same Phaedra? She has a completely different face.
Oh yeah, her face has gone through many iterations.
The more I saw the evolution, but the first glimpse was shocking.
It's very jarring. She also came to us pregnant. When we
Oh,
first met her, she was very pregnant. And that storyline was really funny because she was telling everybody she was like 8 months pregnant and literally like was telling everybody that she was only 6 months pregnant because she didn't want to share that she got pregnant before she got married. So she was just trying to convince everybody that she was like 2 months behind, which she actually was. And they were all like,
and everyone was like,
no.
she's way too big.
Yeah. So that was our introduction to Phaedra. I think she's a good mom though. I'm excited to see her back and
Just her
have her.
delivery, like she didn't even do anything this episode really
No.
to earn the title of MVP other than just exist. And her delivery has this musicality that I could listen to her talk all day
Me too.
about anything.
Me too. Other thoughts from Atlanta. I loved the beginning when Kelly went over for Kiki with Shamia and Shamia said she's gonna have her titties out. Shamia never not saying what we're all thinking.
Right? And then her titties were out too.
Yeah, I loved it.
I also loved how they each had their own bottle of champagne and they were just drinking from the bottle because it's like, who are we kidding? Like, we're gonna open a second
Exactly.
bottle. We might as well just like each have our own bottle to start.
I loved it.
I've done that before with a friend. Like, we just both open our own bottles of white wine because we both know we're gonna drink a whole bottle. So, like, let's just call it what it is.
Yeah, totally. I felt like I didn't care much about Portia going through a new house, like
No.
whatever, do what you're gonna do. I still think Angela's husband absolutely despises her.
And he was the only husband at that
That horrible
horrible
event. Oh my
country
God.
club classic. Oh my God. I
If
was like, I'm
somebody had me dress up like I was going to a Kentucky Derby and then said, "And now you will golf,"
and
I
now
would
you,
s- I would simply turn around and leave.
well, not everyone had to golf.
Those who showed up on time sure did.
The ones that got to golf were the lucky ones because everyone else, all the other guests, didn't get food, they didn't get gifts. They just had to watch the Real Housewives of Atlanta open their gifts and eat their food.
It was it was really tragic. The fact
What?
that it was still being set up when it began was alarming.
It was giving Fire Festival.
It was giving She by Sheree fashion show with no fashions.
It was really.
So we'll see what happens with Brit's line of shapewear. I hope it's
Or, you know
successful.
what? I honestly hope we don't see what happens with this shapewear. If we never talk about it again, it'll be too soon for me.
It could be like Sonia Morgan's toaster oven. We just never see it. And it goes into the Bravo lore.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Brit's ready to be in the lore just yet, but
She's really trying to be.
yeah, it's It's too soon. Like anything she does this season, we're not really gonna remember more than the impact she's already made.
I'm excited for the girls' trip to Grenada.
Me too, and they're gonna do hurricane relief. I thought that was so nice.
Super nice.
And over on the valley, they're gonna go to Hawaii soon. We have Hawaii in our future.
I'm glad we got a mid-season trailer. This is a beautiful hula that you're
Thank
doing.
you.
I'm glad we got a mid-season trailer because I felt like this episode was kind of a sleeper also.
Yeah, what is going on? This week is such a dud for
Two,
reality TV.
two in a row for the Valley. I like seeing Schwartz. We got the reintroduction of Sheesh and Lala.
We did.
Very, very pregnant Lala.
And they were just doing what they do.
Stirring it up.
Mm-hmm.
Brock was present. Lots of familiar faces.
It felt like home to me.
Yeah, it did.
Like I just miss them. Even when they're not doing much, I just miss them. I feel like maybe I need to go back to season 1 of Vanderpump Rules. Or maybe like
That's
5 or
always-
6.
That's always a recommended journey. I feel still awful for Brittany dealing with Jax's insanity.
Yeah, me too. Oh, did you notice when she and Jasmine went up to the bar at their pool party? No, they were in Jax's bar and they walked in and they're like, shot first. And I was like, oh, hell yeah.
You need to go. You can, stop by Jax's anytime. See if they're there.
I love how they showed how dead it was.
It's always dead.
I
feel
know.
like we've only been there a handful of times and it's always dead.
Well, I've driven by a lot and it's always dead. They don't have anything to lose because Jax straight up said he just put his name on it. He's not even an investor.
I'm not surprised, but I mean, they put a sports bar next to a sports bar that is popular. So
they did.
What
And there
did
was
they
like a
expect?
reserved sign on their table. I'm like, okay, calm down. I don't think you needed to reserve this table.
Plenty of Mama's beer cheese
But the
waiting
stuff,
for you.
like with him not paying the mortgage.
That's diabolical.
But like she said that they were gonna owe $100,000. She said the mortgage was 14,000
a month.
But then it was only 3 months. So I think maybe she's just bad at math.
I'm not one to judge.
I feel like it couldn't have been more than 50 that they owe. But even so, she's having to pay who knows how much for this Airbnb that she signed a lease for. That cold, sad Airbnb.
Why would he sign a lease on another? Can she just move back into their house then?
No, because she signed the lease on the Airbnb because she thought he was going to move back into the house.
That's so dumb.
I mean, that's what he is.
Poor Brittany.
Poor Brittany. And you know what? Going back to Atlanta real quick, speaking of houses, Angela is in some deep shit.
No,
It's like
she
$2 million
is.
in debt. She's
She
keeping it
is.
so real talking about that.
Yeah, because that one house that she's trying to flip, they've lowered the asking price to what they paid for it. So yeah, I don't know enough about the Atlanta real estate market to know if this is normal, expected behavior, or if she's really just having a tough go of it. But I do feel bad.
It just seems like real rotten luck to me. But, she's sharing it all and she's taking us all along for the ride. So I gotta give her props.
Love Hotel this week.
I
love
forgot
how
about the hotel.
Ashley admitted that Ralph was a bad kisser.
I could not believe, because the first kiss she said time stopped.
I know. How can it be such a downfall so quickly?
I was stunned.
Was that the extra key thing to save Wale also? Do they only get one extra key in total?
I am so confused because then they brought those guys and they said you can bring this many guys back, but then you don't get a key for this. And they used it to bring back that guy who was dressed like a hippie. And I don't know
what's going on over there.
It really like all fell apart in the last half hour to me, honestly.
What did you think of what was in the note for Earl?
I thought that was very touching.
Sweet Shannon connecting him with his stepson.
I never would have guessed.
What do you think of her then choosing to keep him around?
I think it's just like her guy's not here. But you know what? Maybe
they're not a love story for our time. I don't know what she was thinking. But I did recall on the scenes for either it was the scenes for next week or it was at the end of the episode, they said the last batch of guys is next week. Like, how long is this gonna run? How many episodes are we gonna get?
This is the last batch of guys
that they just introduced.
I think.
So how many more episodes are we getting?
Hopefully 1.
Oh, you're done.
None of these relationships are real, and which is fine usually, but it's just like
We're really pulling teeth on this one, I feel.
I don't want to watch it anymore.
You can jump off if you'd like. I'll finish.
Especially, you know what really did it in for me was finding out that Ralph was a bad kisser. Like, why am I watching it?
That really just destroyed your whole world. Sorry.
If I can't root for Ralph, who am I rooting for? Maybe Wale. I do like him.
How about James and Luann?
Oh, okay.
That could be a love story.
It's not.
Oh,
She just wanted to see that baby's arm.
and she did.
She did. We didn't get to.
Good for her.
I don't even care that she's there, honestly. Like, it's doing nothing for me.
No, the show's really a flop, in my opinion.
And do they just need to bring better women next time? I think they need to bring better men.
Both, because Giselle is notoriously hard to please, so there was no chance that she was ever gonna hook up with somebody. Same with Shannon, I
No.
feel. So it's like, let's get a Sutton, maybe a Dorinda.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only way I'll watch is if Sutton, because I truly do believe Sutton could carry a dating show on her own. No, okay, no, it needs to be for women. I take that back, but
Speaking of dating shows, because I have nothing else to say about Love Hotel, I did watch the first episode of what I am calling 90 Day in Paradise because I don't know what the actual name of it is.
Hunt for Love.
The Hunt for Love on TLC. I watched it.
And
I think it's going to be great. I'm very excited.
why? What's so promising about it?
Well, because it's a mix of 90 Day people and regular people. So it's not just 90 Day people trying to hook up with each other. They've also brought in civilians
Kind of like
to,
Love Hotel.
yeah. So it's very, and Tim of Tim and Veronica, he's on it. And his original ex from 90 Day Fiancé is also on it. For some reason, I've watched, I thought, every iteration, but I don't recall seeing his season with her. But she's smoking hot, and Rob immediately like is in love with her, but Rob also is in love with some other hot chick who he's making out with. And we've got,
Colty.
oh God, we've got Colty who
How is he?
he makes a point to say that he has a higher than average sex drive, and everybody else is like literally how. And there was one scene where he's discussing how, because they're in Tulum, so they're discussing how the humidity is hard for him. And he turns around to show how sweaty he is from just doing nothing. And it is, I feel he should be going to the ER today, not me,
For
for the le
dehydration.
for the level of sweat coming off of him.
But
His
haven't
back
we all been
particularly.
there?
We got flashbacks to everybody's original season, so seeing Larissa pre-surgeries was wild. Yeah,
Did you notice any growth from Colty? Because I did.
no.
Not when I was watching 90 Day Diaries, I felt like he had evolved.
Maybe he didn't get a big spotlight this episode.
Who did?
Rob, mostly. And then there's a girl, Courtney. And I remember her, but I couldn't say much about what happened on her season. But she was with someone from another country. And so she and Usman, aka Soulja Boy, have hooked up once in Turkey. And they're both at the Love Island or whatever.
And are they interested in each other?
Yeah, but I think she just is never not drunk. So it's hard to say.
Did he sing his song? Did you hear
No.
his new song, Looking for a Wife?
We didn't get any songs, but I don't need him. I actually kind of have like a visceral reaction to him, so I like don't want to see him
Why?
because I think he's a scammer.
Well,
I've always thought he was a scammer, and I don't
aren't
like
most
that
of
we're.
these people scammers?
I don't know. I just don't. For some reason, like with him, I don't want to be giving him screen time.
Well, I don't want to be giving Rob screen time.
I don't mind it.
He disgusts me.
I'm still attracted to him.
I don't know who disgusts me more, Aiden Shaw or Rob 90 Day.
Aiden. So it's interesting, and I'm excited to see how it goes and what the situation will be for like who gets to stay and go. If they vote people off or couple up or whatever, but I'm excited.
Hopefully they have a more clear, stable format for us.
Yeah. I think we need to dig into, maybe this will come up later, but after Love Hotel finished filming, I guess Joel Kim Booster, the host, I didn't read into it much, but he said a bunch of crap about Shannon.
Yes, he tweeted it. I don't remember what he said.
Something about how she was a nightmare to work with and
Yeah.
always late. So I don't know if he will be asked back because you really shouldn't go against Shannon.
Well, he also is very low energy.
He is.
Even coming in a Speedo wasn't enough to, lighten it all up or
Don't
bring the
take
energy up.
jobs. Don't take jobs that are meant for women.
What?
This a woman needs to be there.
I
Ariana
did,
probably was free.
no, she definitely wasn't free. I did think that a former housewife would have been better, or a current housewife, like a housewife, maybe one that's like loved up.
No. Do you know who I think would have been amazing?
Paige.
No. Sheena Shea.
Yeah, you're right. She would have been serving energy
Yes. She would have
and
been
looks. Like
she would
not
have
looks like
been
outfits, looks like looking at them.
she would have been putting blood, sweat, and tears into the performance.
Practicing in the mirror.
Yeah. That was a missed op, in
Yeah,
my
she just
opinion.
would have elevated the proceedings. Like, and Joel Kim Booster seems like a nice guy. His vibes are just too low key. That's all too mellow.
Agreed.
And Sheena
Speaking,
Shea, we know is not mellow.
no, she would have been perfect. But speaking of Paige, I did watch the Summer House reunion part
Yes,
one,
yes. And
and it was kind of uneventful for the beginning. Paige really got into information about the breakup. None of it was surprising. Craig's a little bitch, blah, blah, blah. I think we'll get into it even further as however many parts we're going to get continues, probably two, maybe three at most. I don't think they've ever done more than two parts for Summer House. I could be wrong. But I was talking to somebody the other day, I think a coworker, about what to do with Roni and Summer House. And I'm just going to double down again that I think we could even take all of the girls or the majority of our girls from Summer House and graduate them to Roni because of the existing relationship piece that is so desperately missing from Roni as
it
it
would
stands
be
now.
Paige, Amanda,
Lindsay,
Lindsay, and
Sierra.
Sierra.
And I know that Hannah Burner maybe has burned bridges with Bravo, but bring her back.
I feel like you can always come home.
You can because she and Amanda still are not cool because Kyle and Hannah had a big falling out. And so we've got a rift there right away. Right away.
And do they have any other friends in common? Because that would make the casting
Probably.
easier too if they wanted to add or take away. I mean, yeah, I think it's like everyone says it, so it feels too obvious, but
I
I
don't know
think
why they
it's the only
wouldn't.
way. It's the only way.
I don't know why they wouldn't. I think all of the girls would say yes. So, I mean, just do it.
Another part of me wonders why can't they find women that know each other that are dramatic in the greatest city in the world?
I'm curious what's going to happen with Ladies of London versus the Real Housewives of London.
Oh my God.
What are we doing here?
Because Juliet is on it.
So why do we need both shows? Real Housewives of London is a Hey You exclusive. Then why not just make that one available on Bravo? Why are we also doing a Ladies of London? That doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't know, especially seeing that Juliet is going back, is going to the new franchise. I was beyond confused.
Is this when they said at the upfronts that they're doing a revamped Ladies of London? Is this what they meant?
No,
I'm very
that's a different
confused.
show. It's a completely different show.
I'm very
Me
confused.
too. And I want to know how are we going to get to watch this?
I don't know. What else is going on in the world?
Well, you have been watching Mormon Wives. I just started literally like an hour ago.
Yeah. So I think next week we'll have a lot more to talk about, seeing how far you get. But what I will say is everything is a risk to MomTok. And we can't let these things affect MomTok. That's not what MomTok is about.
What is MomTok about, Lo?
MomTok is about girlhood, sisterhood, hair extensions,
Dancing.
swig.
What is swig? Oh, their soda shop? The
Yeah.
soda shop, hey.
The sodas, swig,
Babies,
babies.
modern farmhouses.
That's what MomTok is about. Leggings.
Did we say curls already?
I did say hair extensions.
Oh yeah, that's the same.
It's really good. The season's really petty, really good. I love to just see women rip each other apart.
Which is horrible. You should edit that out. She didn't mean it.
I did, but I didn't. But I did.
Well, I think that's like, thank God they bring drama because unlike the Housewives, they're not funny.
No, they think they're funny. It's
They're
interesting
not.
because
It's like a different level of humor when you're a prude, maybe.
But they're not prudes.
But they act like they are. They think they are. In their minds, they're still following the church to some extent, so they don't have, it's like a more elementary
But they
level
say
of
bad
humor.
words all the time.
Maybe it's just where they are in the country. Maybe it's because we have been exposed to like LA, New York, like we
That's why
are.
we are comedians.
Yes, that's probably why.
But dude, no, I just think they're not that smart.
Exactly, because they're from Utah. No offense.
So it's just like, oh, edit that out too.
Any listeners in Utah, we didn't mean it, but I
Oh
did
my
mean it.
God. And any women listeners. Who else do you want to target?
Who do I want to go
The
after
disenfranchised
today?
youth?
Listen, anybody who's listening to this, you included, would be lying if you said you didn't like watching women tear other women apart.
No comment.
Because what else are we doing here?
But it's also for like the fun and the laughs. You know, when they come together, that can be fun at times too.
And I didn't say it wasn't, but you and I can both agree that watching Meredith scream at Brittany, I am disgusted that I had you in my home in the back of a Sprinter van, is true heaven and bliss.
I mean, high body count hair will live rent-free in my brain forever.
Case in point.
Well, on that note, you gonna do some rotting this weekend? You gonna rest your poor infected bladder?
A bit. It is my husband's birthday on Sunday, so I think tomorrow we have family things, and then Sunday we're gonna do a birthday dinner for him.
What's on the menu?
Sushi.
Oh yeah.
I didn't actually have my cheat day last week, so I'm gonna do it this week instead, and I'm really looking forward to it.
So you're gonna make his birthday about you.
Listen, I asked him, he can have whatever he wanted. I said, if you want Indian food, he loves that, barbecue, whatever, like I'm down, but he chose it. So, who am I? Who am I to tell him, man, he can't have sushi
When you want sushi.
when I want sushi? Are you gonna rot?
I got plans.
What are your plans?
I'm going to a baseball game.
Nice. Yankees Dodgers.
You know.
That'll be fun.
And maybe, once again, maybe I'll spend some time in the bathroom.
Gotta get back in that tub. It's not gonna tile itself.
The bathroom is not gonna tile itself. It's barely getting tiled when we do it, so.
I do still mean to watch Sirens.
Oh, me too. Yes.
So that's on the list. And I will say, I don't think I'm going to be seeing the new Lilo and Stitch. I am a big Disney gal, but I do think I'm going to boycott. I've seen some spoilers and I'm not happy. And so I don't want to
What?
see
I
it.
heard it's really good. What do you mean spoilers? It's a movie that already came out. You know how it ends.
It's Disney feels the need to change things that are unnecessary to change.
Like what? Do they kill Stitch? If they kill Stitch, just tell me yes or no with the shaking of your head. Okay.
Do you want me to spoil what happens?
Yeah. Everyone
Spoil-
stop listening if you don't
Spoiler
wanna.
alert. Spoiler alert. I'm going to say what happens at the end of Lilo and Stitch, the new version.
I really want to see it.
The sister
Dies.
gives up custody and goes to college on the mainland.
And then who takes care of Lilo?
I'm not sure. I think they write in another character that's like a neighbor or something. But that goes against everything in the original movie. Like all of the point of Ohana. Like
So Ohana doesn't mean family.
and this is why I'm boycotting it.
Oh my God, how could they do this to us?
I know. I'm sick of Disney doing these remakes anyway.
I'm
And then-
appalled. I thought I heard it was good. Wherever I heard it, that's a lie.
It's pissing me off. I think Disney's getting so lazy.
It's out of control. They're redoing the Avengers again. You've got to be shitting me.
Like, make something new, please. Who do we need to employ?
Let's just take a break from saying Marvel. Like, let's play the no talking game with Marvel for like the next 5 years.
I would love.
Well,
So
on that
anyway.
note, thank you for that bummer of a note to close out on.
On the plus side, I do think we'll get TS12 sooner than later. Just to round it out with how we started. I do think that.
Too soon to be talking about that. She's not doing jack shit. She straight up admitted she's not doing anything.
Well, she's doing something. And his name is Travis.
TMI. I don't need to know about that.
I did have a dream the other night that she was pregnant and you were furious.
I will be furious when she gets pregnant.
You were so angry in the dream. You were like, I can't believe she did this to us.
Literally, like anytime she wears an outfit that's not tight, I'm like, oh, I mean, like she could be.
Well,
She's
you
not
also have
not.
this feeling about Margaret Qualley.
Well, the thing is, you're not supposed to speculate on women's bodies.
You're not, but you do.
So I
You're just as
don't.
bad as me, tearing
I
women apart.
know, I know. I don't like to publicly speculate. I thought that was for off the mic. But yes,
Nothing's
she
for off
does
the
wear a
mic.
lot of flowing dresses. And Taylor, I'm not saying Taylor looks pregnant in
No.
any way. I'm just saying she could always be. Like she could be 1 month pregnant. You know what I mean?
Any woman anywhere could be early preg.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't know.
We'd have no way of knowing.
We'd have no way of knowing.
So I'm a little nervous. I feel like a little bit on edge all the time because once the music starts being about that kid, like I'm out. All right. What else you got?
That's it for this week. Thanks everyone for listening. Thanks for rotting with us.
That was a lot of tangents.
A lot of tangents, great combos. Can't wait to see what next week holds.
If you don't say so yourself.
Yeah, loved it. I can't wait to give you all a bladder update next week.
Oh my God, go rest your bladder.
I will. Thanks for rotting with us.
Thanks for rotting with us.